My life and political thoughts as a tarot reader who thinks YouTube wants to know what the hell I'm thinking. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anti-Case Tarot. There is more footage that I'll probably hopefully show, but this tank got revamped. The Plotty boys got to be rehomed with a cousin, and they're getting some other Plotties soon. My first batch of Platy Fry, the males are developing their gonopodiums, and next week they're going to the fish shop and cousins. And my son got the beta fish he has wanted, and I think this is looking lovely now, and I'm much happier with it. So there's all that, and we are going to Toronto for Palestine Day, and we have got a house sitter because the puppy is not coming with us. Because we found a ride, and I went to a vigil for Palestine, and I read some poetry, and I met someone who's also going to the Palestine Day action in Toronto, which actually isn't in Toronto, it's in Mississauga. And I haven't actually ever been to Mississauga before, so I'm going to Mississauga. And we're going to that. We are staying where we normally stay in Toronto. And we got a ride, and it turns out the ride is one of the other speakers. So my kid's also speaking, and one of the other speakers lives here in Belleville and is giving us a ride. And so we're going to surprise my kid with that, which will be pretty exciting. Yeah, so there's that. And also, thank you for everybody hoping we would get there and, you know, helping us get there in various ways. I appreciate that. It worked out so perfectly, and this person organizes and goes to Toronto regularly, so this might be part of that solution on how do we get there more frequently and be able to participate in activism there and in community there and get together with friends there. So all of that. Tomorrow we'll be busy. Tomorrow we'll be busy getting ready to go for noon, and I'm going to try and work Saturday. Yeah, so and also perhaps plan how we spend money on food in Toronto better. We'll see. All right, those are all the things. Let's pull a card for the week. I am grabbing Next World Tarot because I didn't really read with it this week or last week, because once or twice I pulled it out, and I did for the video uploads, which, you know, we pull the cards off camera and then start recording and give the people their pre-recorded video they requested. But I would, and if it was a negative message, and it was, and the cards look really positive, it's just disconcerting. And I'm like, anyway. So I was like, nope, not the right deck. And then I pull with another deck and get really similar cards, but with a more clear message as to, sometimes this, I love this deck, and sometimes it is too optimistic. So positive but revolutionary. What do we got? The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Sometimes, because I said it was going to be revolutionary, so here we go. Sometimes those of us who stand up and fight for the things we believe are right and just in this world, we get so busy talking from the position of being just and right that in relationships we can think we're always right, and the left, we can be really well armed with all the right therapy speak to be correct. Your heart might be in the right place, but look for all those rough parts in the ground that you stand on. Look at where it's rough and sharp, even if it's beautiful, and be realistic about it. Be realistic about the imperfections as you move in relationships. Be realistic about how much this cup can really hold and how well balanced those emotions stay. And you know, you're of that more revolutionary fight for justice type. Be realistic about who you are, you know, off the picket line or off the protest front or off the writing campaign or the committees. At home, we're just humans too. And look for your humanity so that you can have healthier relationships, because I know activists struggle with healthy relationships, and I think a lot of it comes from the personas we have to take on to do the work that we're doing. All right, that's my message for today. Talk to you all later, folks. I think I will edit this on the road tomorrow. So this tank got a revamp. It got a clean out, a revamp. I saved all the water, and I did add more clean water to it, but I saved the water for the sake of the bioload, because the filter needed to be replaced and was full of snails. The filter was full of snails. The filter cartridge needed to be replaced. It was like bleeding hairs into it, and things needed to be rescaped in here, and I wanted a new lid for the sake of light, and my contraption was weird and I wasn't liking it anymore, and so we rescaped and got a beta. We want to get a beta and 6 pygmy cories, but I had to order the pygmy cories, so we got the beta. We'll add them later. And so then I got a mystery snail, which eventually will go in the other big tank I got, and I'll have to put something else in here. It will get too big, but it's in here for now, because I feel like you might be lonely, and you know, I have all those sorts of weird feels, but he's been exploring the tank, and he likes the Anubis here, and he really likes coming into down in all of this and back here. Yeah, I found this little mini piece of driftwood. I was like, oh, I have crazy glue at home, but I don't know. It was old, I guess, so I didn't have crazy glue at home. So I used these giant pieces of quartz that we have to anchor down the driftwood, and also to anchor the plants. So there's a piece that's like behind the Java fern so that it's like in between the wood and the rock, and then this pile of these quartz rocks here helps anchor down that a little bit. It seems to be floating up some. I'll play around with it a bit, but yeah. This had ended up buried, not gone, and so I saved it, and maybe need to pull it up a little bit. This was looking in rough shape, and just threw it back in. And got some water lettuce, and yeah, it's quite pretty. My son was hoping for black and pink, but I quite like the blue and pink. And we quite like the little face with all the little colors around the face and nose. And yeah, so we don't have a name yet. We have no idea. This does not look like a Darth Vader, like we thought we would choose a very Darth Vader looking betta fish, but yeah, he doesn't look like Darth Vader. He's so pretty. So we don't know what we're calling this little guy. But yeah, this tank is looking 100 times better. I was so unhappy with it. I was like, this tank has the world's clearest water, and I'm so unhappy with this tank. So I was really happy to do this. And yeah, the male guppies are in with the platyfish, and the boys have gone to the cousins, and shortly they will pick out some other platyfish to go with them. Yep, I'm pretty happy with this. My son wanted the betta fish, but I'm the one who's spent hours on YouTube thinking about it, and I wasn't going to get the betta fish first. I was going to get the pygmy cories first, but alas, there was none in town. So this is what we've done for now. All right, let's take a look over at the other tank. Yeah, that red plant didn't make it. I'm giving up on red plants, and we're sticking with the plants I know will grow without CO2 in my water. And yeah, things are growing. My little 3.5 aquarium currently has some plants, Java fern babies in it, that I'm hoping will grow out while I wait to get the other one up and going, which is where I want to use my Java fern babies. So this one with the yellow and orange striped tail, chasing the that big pretty, I think it's a mosaic. That was the birthday fish. And our cousins are like, only one of our fish turned out looking this interesting and that's pretty. We don't know what's going on. From above, he's got all these violets and stuff. He's absolutely gorgeous. So no one seems too bothered by the male guppies going on in here. They're just another tiny fish as far as the big fishes are concerned. Even I think as far as the small ones are concerned. The yellow and orange one seems to be happy to do its own thing a fair bit today, since being moved. Yeah. The baby fishes are really growing. Really growing. It's quite exciting. So this, I think, is a Malibu Sunset, the blue with the orange tails. There's a couple of these. There's one that's way more obvious in the blue than this one, but they are starting to color up. Like, oh, there you are, this one. This one, you can see the blue and orange coming out. So that's exciting. Some of these stripy ones are quite interesting. Some of them, a bunch of them have like, they're dots across the top in ways that almost look like stripes, and it makes them look a little bit tiger-like. Some look like they're going to be almost clearish or see-through, whereas others are darker. And I have ram's horn snails. I've noticed a few. Well, I noticed one. Then I noticed a couple empty dead shells. I assume the cories. And I've noticed a few more. They could still get eaten, but I'm like, there's probably enough that I should end up with at least 2 that make it to full size, which is cool. Then I'll have ram's horn snails. I hope they're pretty. I hope they're pretty. Oh, look how dotty that one is. Look at all the dots. I want a little baby one, a version of these. The smaller fry hang out in here at night, and the larger ones will come here where there's more space in between the roots. And the ittiest bittiest babies tend to be in the Java fern, the crypt somewhat, as well as like the banana plant and the sword plant, but especially the Java fern. Yeah. So that is where the tanks are at. We still haven't done anything on the big one, but it did make more sense to work on these 2 first. It just makes more sense. And I'm quite happy with them. The cories are playing follow the leader. I'll try and catch it without ruining it.
Maybe the blue guppy's gonna join.
Whoop.
Yep, Corey's will run into you.